Hey, fishy people. I wanted to do a quick rant on fish guarantees and the economics of that. A lot of fish stores guarantee, their fish for 7 days or 14 days, or, if it dies, bring a water sample, we'll replace it. I do the same thing for my freshwater fish. That's what's right behind me here. I guarantee all of my freshwater fish for 7 days. I have hardcore opinions on this practice, and I personally do this because economically speaking on freshwater it makes sense. If you buy a fish and you kill it within 7 days and it is a healthy fish and my fish are healthy. I personally don't sell fish that are not healthy. It's bad for business. It's bad for me because I have a guarantee I'm gonna have to replace it anyways, and then they're gonna be upset with me and everything else. But I guarantee my fish because typically speaking, if your fish dies within 7 days, there is something wrong with your water. I require a water sample. If your water is bad, I will still replace the fish, even though it's your fault that it died. I will replace it regardless. And the reason I do that is because I get to sell you stuff. And that's the general consensus of why fish stores do a fish store guarantee. If you're brand new to the hobby, I don't want you to lose your first fish due to some simple accident and be out of the hobby forever, obviously. But more importantly, if your fish die, there's probably something wrong with your water. You have a bad filter. You've got typically the aquarium's not cycled. You've got disease. There's something going wrong, and if there's something going wrong, that means I can sell you something. So heads up, fish stores provide guarantees because if I'm selling you a $1.99 fish and it gets sick, not that I want it to get sick, but if it does, I can sell you $12 worth of medications, and you just spent $12 to fix your $2 fish. So there is a benefit to me by guaranteeing my fish for freshwater. I do not guarantee saltwater fish. I could not ever afford to do that. They're more expensive. There's a higher loss rate. They're more difficult to take care of. It's just impossible. That being said, so for the most part, I don't have a problem guaranteeing fish. I economically benefit if people have issues, not that I would ever want them to have issues. A happy hobbyist spends more money than a disgruntled hobbyist. I make more money selling more tanks and more fish and more dry goods that are relevant to happy fish than I do selling medication. If someone spends $10 on fish and spends $100 on medication, that they're not into the hobby, they're not going to be enjoying themselves, and it's bad for me. So I would never ever benefit from selling subpar fish, and I want to make that very clear because for some reason on forums I have seen fish stores being accused that they actually make money selling unhealthy, dying, diseased fish, and that's absolute craziness. Yeah, you will never make money. As soon as you get the reputation of selling bad quality livestock, that's not good for you. That's never going to be beneficial. But anyways, yes, so that's the one reason that I guarantee freshwater fish. That being said, I have big issues with it because people will definitely take advantage of me from time to time. I have a lot of people that will buy, I think this is area specific because I didn't have this issue at my other store, but I have people that come and buy very cheap goldfish. They want to buy feeder goldfish to put in their pond, or typically it's not in a pond, but to put in a fish bowl. They don't feed them, they don't aerate them, they don't filter them, they don't do water changes. They think of it as a disposable fish. So every week they'll come in and try and get a new fish and go, you guarantee it for a week and it died in 6 days. I will shut that down because that's just absolutely ridiculousness, and that's, you should feel bad if you're doing that. But the bigger issue that I have is that because I have a guarantee, I have to guarantee it. If you buy a fish with a warranty, even if you're unwilling to do all the steps to correct the water, I will still replace the fish. Only once. And I don't enjoy doing it under these circumstances, but I will get people that come in and they will tell me that, nope, my water's fine, even though I've tested it and the ammonia is off the roof, skyrocketing, and the nitrate's super high, and their nitrates are crazy high also, and they'll go, nope, the rest of my fish are okay. They demand, I'm gonna leave you a 1-star Yelp review if you don't give me new fish, so you have to give them new fish. I like to equate this to puppies. because for some reason people don't feel bad about doing this with fish. Can you imagine if you adopted a puppy and you locked it in a hot car and it died? So you walked back into the SPCA and you said, hey, I locked my dog in a hot car and it died, and that was my fault, and I admit that. I would like a new puppy. And I, as the SPCA guy, go, hey, I'll give you a new puppy. Don't lock it in a hot car, okay? And they go, nope, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to lock this puppy in a hot car again. You know, that's a hot car and a puppy is equivalent to a fish tank with a bunch of ammonia. You just can't do it. And I don't understand why people think that they can get away with doing the exact same horrible practices to their fish that they would never, ever, ever consider doing to any other type of animal. You know, if you walked into the SPCA and said, yeah, I just killed 3 dogs by locking them in a hot car, can I get some more? They would arrest you. They wouldn't give you more dogs. And I don't understand why the general fish buying public doesn't see that correlation. Anyways, I'll be back in a second with this. Okay, one of the other big issues that I will have is people asking for guarantees on fish that have died of old tank syndrome. And not everyone knows what old tank syndrome is, but if you neglect to do your water changes, your nitrates can raise to a degree where the fish that have been in there are used to it. This would typically also cause a pH drop. And again, the fish that are in there that have slowly gotten used to it are slowly conditioned to it, so they can survive. You add new fish, they die. They can't deal with the nitrate, ammonia, pH levels that the old tank syndrome has caused. This almost always gets instantly blamed on the fish store for selling bad fish. I will have people, and they come in, again, with a water sample, and I test water for free. Very, very happily will test anyone's water for free, as long as you don't abuse that privilege. You know, people come in and they go, hey, I just bought some fish, they all died. You know, overnight. That shouldn't happen. If you get a bunch of healthy fish and you acclimate them properly, 100% death rate overnight just does not make any sense whatsoever. You know, you check the water, they have old tank syndrome. A lot of people will straight up just disagree. You know, nope, sorry, I don't have that. I can show them the test. I can compare it to the color charts. I can, you know, show them, hey, this says you have ammonia. Nope, my fish that I've had for the last 4 years, I haven't had an issue with. They're healthy. My tank is healthy. So your fish are the issue. You know, it's hard to compare that to something else because it's not like you could have, you know, the same thing doesn't apply to dogs. But it's frustrating when you are doing everything you can to try and help someone, and all they want is free product, which isn't the issue that they want free product. The issue is that they want free product, and yet they're doing absolutely nothing to keep that free product alive. You know, they're essentially saying, I want to kill more stuff. And that is frustrating. So I definitely have a mixed opinion on guarantees. What it comes down to is a hobbyist, you are responsible for the fish you get. You're responsible for their health. You're responsible for the health at purchase. You should look at the fish. You should be able to identify their water parameters. You should have done the research beforehand. You should be able to identify disease. If they have long stringy white poop, don't buy them. If they have dots on them, don't buy them. If they have fungus on them, don't buy them. If they have bacteria on them, don't buy them. Now, your fish store should be a responsible fish store and should be selling you healthy specimens. But in the end, you're responsible. I have bought sick cats. I should say not bought. I have adopted sick cats from rescue organizations where I had to pay for the cat and the adoption, and then I had to pay for the medication, and I had to pay for all the treatments, and I had to pay for the licensing and everything else. And I would never complain about that. I knew I was getting into that when I purchased it. I think the general public is semi-irresponsible when they buy fish, just assuming there's going to be a guarantee and that they have to do zero research. And they don't have to do the research because there is a guarantee. So if you're one of those people, honestly, you need to do a little more effort yourself. You need to research what you're doing. You need to know the requirements. You need to know the water parameters. You need to have a healthy tank. it's not always the fish store's fault when your fish die. I'd say 95% of the time it's probably not their fault. Especially if you're buying from a local, mom and pop fish store. Petco, PetSmart, I have different opinions about. But we don't try and sell sick fish. No one ever tries to sell sick fish. That's bad for business, period. If your fish are not doing well, it's probably your fault. Sorry. We will do everything we can to help with that, but don't assume that you can keep fish in unideal conditions just because they provide a guarantee. I'd say that's the baseline of my rant is, yeah, don't feel bad about using the guarantee. I will never, if someone loses a fish, I don't dislike them because they came and brought it back and asked for another one. But if you're a hardcore irresponsible fish keeper and that's just the way that you operate and you economically deal with that by just getting your fish replaced all the time, shame on you. Shame on you. Have a good day, guys. Hope your tanks are doing well. Bye.